Hello there, welcome to 3Spoonies. We are your hosts, Karen, Claire and Joe. In this episode 6, we are going to be looking at balancing self-care with business. You can join us as we dive into that topic right about now.
SNOAP is transforming personal care with its groundbreaking solid soap and shampoo dispenser, a distinctive gadget that holds 2 bars and converts them into a fine powder for peak effectiveness. Capable of delivering over 2,000 hand washes, 333 showers, or 666 hair washes, these bars are not only cruelty-free, with most options being vegan, but also completely free of single-use plastic. SNOAP excels in caring for both your skin and hair while being considerate of the planet and your finances. An exciting opportunity awaits our listeners today. The kind lady SNOAP has blessed us with a special discount code, Spoonies Love SNOAP, offering an additional 50% off your order. Isn't that fantastic? Visit www.snoap.com now to make your purchase and enjoy this wonderful promotion.
Hello everybody, I am Karen from Pony.
I'm Claire from Sparkle's Gift Boutique.
And I'm Joe from Bright Cat Business Solutions.
Together, we are 3Spoonies, navigating our way through life and business with not enough spoons. This week, we are going to be talking about self-care, so we brought in a wonderful guest. We have Amanda McKinley from the Butterfly Room. Hello, Amanda, and thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, hi, lovely to be here. Thanks for the opportunity to kind of chat and share.
Well, we are very appreciative for you to be here because we know you know lots of stuff that we don't. That's why we have people come in and give their expertise. It's kind of how we roll. So, again, thank you very much for joining us. And I'm going to pass over to Claire, who's going to be asking some questions.
Yes, I am. So to start with, because I don't really know you, and obviously our listeners or viewers, depending on how they're watching, won't know. Do you want to tell us a little bit about you and the Butterfly Room?
Yep, so I am, as you can probably hear from the accent, I'm from Scotland. I am a Wellbeing and Creativity Coach, which is a fancy umbrella title for a whole load of holistic tools, things like meditation and mindfulness, working with crystals, working with angels, right the way through to therapeutic creativity and all sorts. It's all things that initially helped me on my own health journey. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia back in 2009, so nearly 15 years ago. And just through the journey from kind of managing that, because I was one of those people that medication didn't work for me. So through the things that helped me, and then realising those things weren't always accessible or affordable for people. So the Butterfly Room came from wanting to share what had helped me with other people.
Oh, I do find as well, it's like a lot of us, even with like all our businesses, it's come from a place of having to find the self-care balance, but still wanting to be able to work. Yeah, I know all of us have gone through that, so that's quite interesting. How do you balance your self-care for you?
I think I learned the hard way. I mean, before the business, I was a care assistant. I worked in an elderly care home. I absolutely adored that work, but it potentially led to the fibro because I overworked. So I know the dangers of overworking. I mean, I worked on for 2 years after I was diagnosed in the care home, doing 30 plus hours a week and overtime.
Oh, wow.
It made perfect sense to me at the time to go, do you know what? Somebody's phoned in sick for the night shift. If somebody runs me down the road so I can get my medication, I'll come back in and do the night shift. Yeah, absolutely. I can see you kind of shaking your head and going, oh my, yeah.
I can see
now, having done the mindset work and having done all the, the sorting myself out, can totally see, what was I thinking? What would you go back and tell your younger self? I'd have my younger self pinned against a wall going, what are you doing? They don't give us stuff. Why are you here?
I think we've all been guilty of that. I know I did when I
Yeah.
was first getting
So
diagnosed.
I think it's just obviously this is learning the hard way, and just I love what I do. I love the business. I love helping people. I love the variety of it. But similarly, I love myself. And to be as effective and help as many people as I want to help, and to have this passion project, I need to look after me, because I'm a wellbeing coach. Nobody's going to want to work with a sick wellbeing coach.
No,
But
it's the opposite of what you want, really, isn't it?
but I will still be authentic. I mean, if I'm having a PJ day and I'm working from home, I'll tell people that on my page. I don't hide any of that. If I have difficulties with my fibro, I'll tell people, because it helps with setting the boundaries.
Yeah, I found that as well.
Yeah, it's like people are more, it's almost like I'm saying to people, like, I have all this stuff going on, but I know when to stop. I know when to kind of rein it back in.
I agree with that. And this morning, I've had to put in place that boundary and actually explain to someone how fibro affects me. And that, no, I can't just go, yeah, let's go to this event and enjoy myself. And it's like, I was originally going to work it. It's like, if I'm not working it, I'm not coming. And she got upset at that. But until I explained the reasons behind it and how I have to plan several days beforehand, and it is going to be in bed for a day.
And there's the care after that day, isn't it? Just
I don't think she quite understood how sick I actually am or how it affects me. And it's like, you've got to put those boundaries in place.
Absolutely.
I know I'm bad at doing boundaries, and I'm getting better. I'm a little bit better. But yeah, it's, I think we all have it. We all push ourselves a bit too far and kind of then burn out a bit. What is within your business, what is your favourite bit of self-care?
Sundays, I do no work at all. Sunday is my 1 day a week, non-negotiable. I will do no work. I mean, yesterday I, in inverted commas, should have been prepping for chatting with yourselves. I should have been finishing off a blog that I've been meaning to write since I got back from Birmingham, the end of February. So there's a whole lot of that. For me, it's like not getting caught up in the shoulds. It is that, that, no, I don't work on a Sunday, and yes, this stuff should get done, but you know what? It'll all get done anyway. I think it's really hard, and not even just for like Spoonies. In general, I think self-employed people go into it because they love what they do.
It is, and so I can spend hours kind of getting lost in a project.
And it never feel, if you're doing what you love, it never feels like work. So I think setting the boundaries can be so difficult, because you think, it doesn't, it's like sitting writing a blog. Well, that's not anywhere near the same as having done an 8-10 hour shift when I was in the care home.
But it's still something going to scream at you to stop.
Yeah, it's like, it's that thing of like, if you don't make time for your wellness, you will be forced to make time for your illness. It's just that thing of like, for me, no matter what I love and no matter how much, I want to be doing what I do, I know the boundaries need to be kept.
Yeah, no, definitely. So that's a bit of a balance on your work and business. Yeah. So you've got Sundays for yourself. What else do you do to kind of help you? Say you're really busy work-wise, and we all have it where we've got like lists upon lists, and we're like, I've got so much to do. How do you kind of manage that without kind of getting overwhelmed and flustered?
I will just plan it out, pace everything out, lots of tea breaks during the day. In terms of seeing clients, when I was setting up the business to start with, it was basically the numbers were done on the basis of, okay, my rent for the space, not the space I'm in now, previous space, was X amount a week, or X amount a month, sorry. Okay, so based on my prices, that means I need that many clients to cover. So it's like, I kind of do the numbers on the basics of, okay, I've that, and that this week, that covers the numbers, and then lets, if I feel like taking on an extra, like, because of the nature of a lot of what I do, like the card reading and stuff like that, people do very much kind of spur of the moment, have you got an appointment?
Yeah.
One friend in particular who does similar work, but would come to me for like relaxation and energy healing sessions, would randomly just presume she could walk in.
Oh, that doesn't help.
Yeah, like, just pop in, I'm in the centre of Paisley, so I'm kind of low, you know, I'm central. But it was like, yeah, she would just randomly think she could pop in and go, oh, can you fit me in? And it's like, I used to, but now it's like, no. Even if I didn't have it, even if I could have had the space, now it's a case of, do you know what? No.
Yeah, no, because it's good for you to be
It's
able
not,
to plan
that's
what's
not, you know,
happening.
that's not in my schedule for today.
Yeah.
You know, if I haven't scheduled, a lot of the time, if I haven't scheduled for it, it doesn't happen. The biggest thing I do is every February, I do this thing called Feel Good February. And it's a month-long, like, festival of wellbeing events, all community-focused stuff. So I ran all of that, went to Birmingham to do the SBS thing, came back and did my book launch.
That's a lot.
Yeah. And it's like in between coming back from Birmingham and the book launch, I was pretty much, I didn't even schedule anything for those days. And the book launch was like low key because it was like in my favourite local cafe. So I didn't have to think about catering it. That took care of that. And I basically said, look, it's just a party. It's not a big full on event. It's like, come along, help me celebrate doing it, whatever. But even in between, like getting back from Birmingham and having the book launch, I took 2 days of like, everything else is in place. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, it's just that I need to rest and take my time.
So for me, and I know I'm kind of probably repeating myself, but it's just boundaries. Looking after yourself. It's like realizing that no is not a bad word.
Yeah.
You know, and I know the numbers need to be met, and I know, you know, the bills need to be paid. But again, if you knacker yourself in the long term, nothing's getting done.
No. Do you work to like a set time each day, or do you, because I know me, Joe and Karen, we're very flexible on our work hours depending on how we're feeling. Are you the same with that, or do you have set hours a day that you work?
The only days that are definitely set are where I'm based. I'm based inside. My friend set up a fantastic kind of creative centre, and I'm based in there. So on the days the shop's open, which is Wednesday through to Saturday, I'll kind of stick to the opening hours of being in. And then kind of occasionally, like today, I came in to do this morning because I know the Wi-Fi connection's better here and I didn't want to risk anything dipping out. So I came in this morning for this, and I'm going to an event tonight, but that's still a 4-hour chunk where I might do some work or I might just sit in here and drink tea and chill. I'll see how it goes. So
see how you feel.
There's always a couple of days in the week that are a bit more fluid, and then it can get a bit more structured. I do try and keep it, you know, quite fluid again, just because you never know from one day to the next. No matter how well you plan, no matter how well you pace, no matter how well you do all the proper things as a spoonie we want to do, you know, something will throw the universe will throw a spanner in the works somehow.
Yeah, we can try and be as prepared as we want, and then just something throws in and you're just like, oh, well, that was not worth doing.
And that's what, so I've kind of got the main things that are on this week structured out, and it's like, okay, right, so I need to be able to do that and that, and I'll see how things flow around about that in terms of how many spaces I'll open up in my diary this week for one-to-one clients, you know, how many other things I say yes to this week.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we are going to take a quick pause for our sponsors. So it's time for some spoons full of loveliness. Loads of great things from our sponsors.
Cutting Your Costs is a commercial and domestic utilities business in conjunction with UW and Full Power Utilities, offering an all-round personal service to help people save money on their bills whilst giving peace of mind of great low prices and impartial advice. Offering a national service in the UK, Christopher is able to help any size domestic or commercial property, ensuring more of your money remains where it should be and that it's in your pocket. For all your utility requirements, call Chris on 079 77 060 904. Yours to Explore, owned by Beth, who has ADHD and type 1 diabetes, was created to help everyone afford to travel. They cover solo to family, budget to luxury, from Rome to Rio, relaxing cruises to adrenaline thrilling ski trips. Yours to Explore is independent and ACL protected under the JLT license that means more competitive prices and lots more packages built just for you. Whatever your budget or needs, message Beth today and she will help you fulfill your travel dreams.
Okay, so now we are back. Do you have anything, Amanda, that you are promoting at the moment that you'd like to tell people about?
I suppose the main thing I want to share with people at the moment is my book that launched. I mentioned kind of having the book launched at the end of February. So How I Became a Butterfly, self-published, available on Amazon. If you just kind of Google or Amazon, Amanda McKinley, I think it comes up.
You can put your link in the show notes as well.
Cool. But yeah, so started working on it 6 years ago. It randomly came about from, I was at a friend's vision board workshop, you know, and you're sticking all the bits and bobs and like, kind of, so I want to do this and I want to do that. And I put this thing down about self-help books. And my friends like that, so what's that about? Do you want to read more? And at that time I was really into reading like Louise Hay, Kyle Gray, all of this stuff. And she said, so what's that about? I went, I want to write one, you know, one of those, where did that come from things? So started it from there. Again, bit of procrastination, bit of imposter syndrome, you know, the whole, who am I to write a book, all those different things. And then Catherine, bless her, my friend, Sissy, who I rent the space from, put me on a bit of an accountability thing, you know, and like, right, pick a day of the week where you're going to work on your book and do something. It's like, because if you really want to share this with people, you know, you need to get it out there. So stuck to it and launched it after much procrastinating and doubts on end of February there. And it has actually sold some copies. I had always said when I started it, if I was, you know, if it sold one copy and the one person that bought it was who needed to hear the story and hear what's in it, I would consider it as, you know, that's my version of like a New York Times bestseller list. But it's actually in double figures for the sales so far. So
oh, that's amazing. And it was this February you launched it?
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
So as of time of recording, that's about a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the first month. I kind of ordered in about, I think it's about 40 copies on launch night, and I sold, pretty much almost sold out the first batch that I ordered in on the launch night.
Nice.
That's incredible.
I have probably a personal question. Why butterflies?
Transformation and change. You know,
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like, you know, caterpillar to butterfly. And if you think about it, caterpillar, you know, you go caterpillar, cocoon, you know, and everybody thinks it's like the butterfly or the caterpillar just wraps itself up in this little cocoon and then emerges this beautiful butterfly. Once the caterpillar's inside that cocoon, it basically dissolves into like this puddle of the. So it's kind of, it feels a very spoony thing, you know, to put that just wrapped up in a blanket. Sort of thing, and then emerge in whatever comes next. So that's kind of what I was going for.
And it holds its memories as well, which always amazes me. That after turning to goo, it will keep the memories.
That is amazing. Yeah, I love that, especially as I refer to my bed as the cocoon.
Oh, there's nothing better than hiding in your bed. And I cocoon myself in our king size duvet, and like my husband will come to bed and he'll be like, "Are you going to share?" I'm like, "Do I have to?" You know, I'm all cocooned, I'm wrapped up, got bits of it between my legs to come support myself.
I call it a burrito.
It's a burrito cocoon. Did you go to pick up your caterpillar then as well, Karen?
Look, Sluggy wanted to be part of the discussion here. This is Sluggy, my fidget toy, by the way.
Thought I spied him. Oh,
if people do, oh, sorry, Claire.
No, go on, you go.
No, I was just going to, if people do read your book, are there things you can do remotely? Because I know not everyone's necessarily going to be near you.
Yeah. The way the book works, I structured it in such a way that it's got my story in the first half, and then all the tools, so things like working with crystals and meditation and creativity and whatever are all split in the second half. So if people don't want to get to know me, they can just skip straight to the tools, and it is all in there. So like how they can, you know, what crystals to go and buy. There's meditations in there which you would have to read through at the moment, but I'm hoping to have them recorded so I can then say, if you got the book, here are the recordings. So there is an option for kind of it's a DIY thing basically.
Yeah,
You
so
know, you can
it's a bit more than just like a book that's kind of given you, like, you know, some self-help books you read, it's just all text about like their journey, what practices
yeah.
they've used, but you're actually giving people the tools to kind of be like, well, look, you can try this and this helps. And
I mean, it is a case of, look, this is the stuff that worked for me, you know, but similarly, people might not really be, and again, concentration wise, memory wise, it's like, you know, you might not want to engage with the whole story of, you know, my 15-year journey kind of thing. So I structure it in such a way that people can just jump straight in to like the tools and stuff.
that is really good, because I know since I got well, even before I got diagnosed with fibromyalgia, the brain fog and the lack of being able to focus, and I used to read all the time. I could read like 5 or 6 books a month. Sometimes I'd take a day and just read a book. It was lovely. And I really struggled to I'm getting back into it slowly, but I can have, you know, when you have to reread a page a few times because it just doesn't quite go in and you're like, ah. But I like the idea that it's based around that and you can just be like, right, I'm going back in and I'm there.
Well, that, and people can sort of choose, you know, if it's like, I don't know, they've already got some rose quartz or something around and they know that's going to resonate with them, or if there's something they've tried before, there's the options to say, right, let's go in with that first and then sort of look at other bits later. So I think that's really helpful because you don't know necessarily where people have come from, what their experience is, or, you know, maybe there was that one person they encountered who told them something 20 years ago and, you know, they weren't ready to hear it then, or that person said it in a way that didn't resonate at all. And now they're ready to look at it and go, actually, do you know what? There's a lot of sense in that.
Yeah, because the stuff, like I covered meditation and mindfulness in it. And I found the mindfulness-based cognitive behavioural therapy really helpful for sorting out kind of people-pleasing and my behaviours that were like feeding the vibro monster. But I do have to be honest, I wasn't comfortable with it at the start. Like there's a practice called the body scan you do in mindfulness. So here I was at the Centre for Integrative Care in Glasgow, learning, you know, this, and I was there for fibro, for wanting my pain sorted and taken away. And here I'm being asked to do a body scan and check in with my body. And it's like, I already know my body's sore. Excuse the French, but hell no am I doing that. And it was like, it was explained, lovely Dr. Bridie explained, what you're doing is you're having a conversation with your body. It's okay, you know you're sore, but why? You know, have you been overdoing it? Are you stressed? Are you? And it's like, right, okay, do you know what? I'm desperate. I'll give it a go. And if I hadn't, I might not be sitting talking to you. So
a lot of self-care stuff, you have to kind of be open as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And it has to come
doing that work.
It has to come to you at the right time, because as I said, the stuff that kind of has helped me, if it had been suggested to me back at the start, I don't think I would have been as receptive. You know, I think I had to get to that point of going through all the medications and not having them work, and get to that point of, do you know what, if this is going to be me for the rest of my life, there's got to be another way to do this.
Yeah.
And that was
finding
how
the balance
came about, and how the journey to where I am now came about.
Yeah. I mean, I found so far there are no meds that work with the pain. It's, you know, and I'm just like, well, I'm kind of on that path of let's look at what I can do to help myself naturally instead of being on meds and trying new meds. Because every time you take new meds, there's new side effects and they're not fun. It is a vicious cycle. So do you take any meds at all now, or are you completely off?
Completely off. As I said, again, purely because they weren't working for me. It's not the whole, I'm a holistic therapist and, you know, yoga and kale is the answer to everything.
It's really not. Yeah, and it is what works for everyone. Some things work really well for some, whereas someone else, it's like their worst experience. So
and also what brings you joy. It sort of winds me up when people need to justify something they enjoy, and it's like, oh, it's not a colouring book, it's a mindfulness colouring book for grown-ups. And it's like, if you like colouring, do some colouring. It's fine. If that makes you happy, you don't need to justify it. Go ahead.
I mean, they wouldn't want to see my colouring book. Mine's like a horror themed and gore and all that. So it looks amazing, you know, and I'd have it because I enjoy it. It's a bit of
Yeah.
relaxation.
And that's
Yeah.
like, that's the best self-care thing. So just do something that makes you happy. And again, that should be that doesn't have to be a spoony thing. Everybody should do things, especially the creative stuff. People get so caught up in that I can't do it because I'm not good at it. When we're kids, we don't care. We just do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't really talk on that one. I spent many years running around playing dress up and pretend. I just decided I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, you've got some good pictures from your stuff when you've done your, like, whatever, I can't remember what it's called.
Live action role play.
That's the one.
I miss it so much.
Oh.
I bet that takes some energy to do as well, though.
It does. I mean, even when I was well, it would be, I'd be away for 3 to 5 days and then I would sleep for 16 hours.
Oh, wow.
And then I wouldn't be able to move very well for next week.
Yeah, that would do that.
Yeah, there's a reason I can't do it anymore.
Oh, could you imagine trying to do it now? We wouldn't see you for like a week, maybe 2.
Month.
So, Amanda, have you got any tips or advice that you would give to people balancing self-care and business?
I think you just come back to what we already covered. It's that thing of like, no matter how much you love it, keep the balance, because the more you look after yourself, the more you can do for others. You know, it's that you can't pour from an empty jug. So keep the balance. Remember that no isn't a dirty word. It's not a swear word. And go back to what we were just talking about there as well. It's like, do things that make you happy. Even in business, if it's not making you happy, look at why you're doing it. Remember your why. And if what you're doing is not making you happy, don't do it.
I mean, it has really kind of capped on them, but to do it in that short bit is a really good way to put it. So thank you so much, Amanda, for coming and joining us.
No, it's
And
been
being
an
our
absolute
guest. It
pleasure.
has been fabulous to get to know you more.
Been great.
And we put your links in the show notes so that everyone can connect with you and find out a bit more about what
Yep.
you do. I will be going to have a look at your book because I do find all that stuff really interesting.
Cool. Thank you so much. It's been lovely to chat with everybody.
Yep, thank you everyone. Again, all those links are going to be in the show notes, and we'll make sure we get the link right for Amanda's book because, as Claire said, I think we're going to be looking for it as well. So do feel free to join us in the Business Success Network for Disabled Entrepreneurs Facebook group. Come and find out all the gossip and nonsense happening in between episodes. You can also buy us a coffee if you like what we do. We'll see you next week for community questions. Have a great day and keep track of your spoons.